welcome back to my podcast, Live Your Best Life Every Day. My name is Stefan Dajo, and today's topic is going to be about rejection versus potentiality. And that's something you're going to want to join in on. So stay tuned. You cannot value your worth based on the amount of rejection you experience. We've all experienced rejection at one point or the other in our lives. Doesn't matter where people are at today, at the end of the day, they've all experienced rejection. And that's just part of the game of life, if you ask me. When you want to achieve something, when you want to do more than the average, when you want to go beyond, when you want to break the statu quo, you are bound to experience rejection. But does that mean that you have to question your potentiality? Well, I guess we are about to find out. Way too often, I've witnessed or heard of people losing faith and hope in themselves after enduring or perhaps experiencing rejection. We all have different ways of processing things and different ways of course, putting ourselves out there. And to be rejected after taking the effort and going the extra mile to present yourself in the best way possible. Now that can hurt. Definitely that can hurt. But let me tell you this. There are way too many factors at play for you to start making it about self-doubt. One of them being that certain people simply lack the capacity for your potentiality at that given time. You cannot take one moment in time and live as a victim of it for the rest of your life. Better yet, you cannot allow an instance of rejection to define the rest of your life. No, you can't. That would be a waste of an experience, because at the end of the day, experiencing rejection, that's still an experience, and I believe that there is something that can come out of that. But here's what you need to be aware of. Rejection can be approached from different perspectives and different angles. And I always say, depending on how you look at things, it may or may not affect you the way it was perhaps designed to affect you. Rejection, when approached from a different angle, can be seen as a redirection, a change of perspective, perhaps a stepping ground, but definitely and not necessarily lack of potential. Absolutely not. Your level of potentiality cannot be spotted by everyone, and that's something that you need to let sink in your mind. Not everyone is able to see or detect your potentiality or what you can achieve or your star. You may call it what you want. Whether you're a trailblazer, an outside the box thinker, for example, or a trendsetter, you will experience aggressive rejection from narrow minds. And that should never, I say this, never stop you. You should in fact prepare for such scenarios. They're gonna happen. When you have an idea that hasn't been heard of, you are bound to face a roadblock. You are bound to face a wall. And when that happens, you should know that it is time for you to push even further, to look for a way around, redirect yourself. And that's it. You cannot keep going around being the product of those bad experiences that you've had. Yes, you were rejected. So what? You are not the first. You are certainly not the first. Let me ask you a little question. Did you know who Elon Musk was prior to Tesla? I doubt so. It may not be written out there, but do you know how many times perhaps he experienced rejection for the very same project that made him famous? That we don't know, because most of the time People don't talk about how often they were rejected. Most of the time, people don't share what they've been through. And that's something that you have to keep in mind. You need to step out of this paradigm of, if I'm rejected, it means that my idea is not good. No. Sometimes you are rejected because the person you are in front of lacks the capacity and perhaps even the understanding for what you are presenting. Therefore, keep moving on. You will find somebody at some point who is open to your ideas. You will find somebody at some point who is willing to invest in. The best thing to do when you experience rejection, from my own experience, is you have to talk yourself up. And you need to surround yourself with people who are going to tap into that very same spirit. You need to boost your mindset. You need to boost your thought process. You need to, you need to power up more than ever. And sometimes, I keep telling this to people, sometimes when you are going through a storm, because a rejection can be considered as a storm, and sometimes when you are going through a storm, you just do not have the time to think about what you are going through at that particular time. You just have to keep on going. And when you get to that place called there, because trust me, there is a place called there. When you get to that place, then you will have the time to look around and say, oh, this is how I was feeling when I experienced this and that. Like I told you, we're all different in our way of going about things. But at the end of the day, the objective is the same. Your potential is everything that you can do, that you can bring, you can put out there. You may have an idea, for instance. You may have a project. Okay? You have everything prepared. Your brief is there. Everything's laid out. The budget, how much you need. Everything that you need, the people that you need. Everything is laid out. You have your plan on how to go about it. And you are certain that it will have an impact, perhaps on a specific market. But when you present that project to somebody who lacks the capacity, the understanding, and even the knowledge sometimes to understand, to comprehend what you are trying to achieve there, that person is only going to reject it naturally. That's just how people are wired. Many people are afraid of what they don't know. Many people are afraid of what they cannot comprehend. Many people these days are not open to learning. They're not open to fresh ideas. They're not open to different ways of doing things. They're not open to groundbreaking statements, for example. Depending on the industry you are working in or your field of expertise, you may have experienced that. People who just don't want to change their ways of doing things. So if you come in as a trailblazer or as a trendsetter, you're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to believe in your craft more than anything else. You're going to have to want it more or as bad as you want to breathe. Because when you push through, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. But if you sit back and you indulge yourself in a pity party, in a self-pity party, or one that was organized or orchestrated by the people around you, that's not going to further your vision. That's not going to further your project. That's not going to further you in life. No. You're going to remain statical. You'll be a statistic. And that's it. But you want to step out of that. Okay, fine. I was rejected today. I feel hurt. I feel disappointed and everything is that. But you know what? It's not the end of life. I'm going to get up and I'm going to get on the highway to keep on going and achieving whatever it is that I want to achieve. And I'm not going to stop until I stop. Because one thing you have to keep in mind is, it is not over until you say so. At the end of the day, it's your narrative. Come on. It is your narrative. It is your idea. It's your project. It is your potential. You know what you have within. No one can tell you what you can do or achieve more than you. So you are aware of your potential and you have to believe in it. Every day that passes, regardless of how many times you experience rejection, keep perfecting your craft. Keep perfecting whatever it is that you have there. Because there's always going to be somebody who's not going to like the way you speak. There's always going to be someone who's not going to like the way you look. There's always going to be somebody out there who's not going to like the way you walk. There's always going to be somebody who's going to try to oppose you. And opposition sometimes is sign that there is substance. Without substance, there won't be opposition. If you don't have something to offer or to bring on the table, people won't have anything to fight against. So when you meet opposition, think of it as, oh, it means that there is something there. It means that I have something in my hands. So don't drop it. That's going to be it for today, guys. And I look forward to get your comments in the comment section. And do not forget to share this with whoever you think needs to hear this. This is a platform where we talk about topics that are not usually spoken out loud. I know many people are going to say that they knew about this already. Yeah, well, if you did, here's a reminder. It doesn't hurt to hear it every now and then. It doesn't hurt to have a refresher every now and then, because we all need that little boost. And that's it, guys. You all stay blessed, stay happy, work on that happiness, work on achieving that. Remember, you don't get happy once you achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. You cultivate happiness along the way. Happy is something you carry with you every single day. And more than ever, I want to give you a tip and advice before I end this episode. Be mindful of your words. Be mindful of what you speak over yourself, over your projects, over your dreams, over your aspirations, over your environment, over your company. Be mindful of what other people speak or say in front of you or to you. Here's why I'm saying that. Your word frame your reality, whether you want it or no. Your words frame your reality. And the words of other people have the capacity to influence your thought process and make you start saying things that initially you wouldn't say about yourself. So you gotta watch that too. Because the moment you start watching what you say about yourself, the people around you are going to start watching what they say about you as well. And when I say the people around you, I'm not saying that you should give that much importance of what people say about you, but I'm saying what the people are saying to you. Because sometimes we have friends, acquaintances, colleagues and everything and stuff, and they may have a certain terminology when they approach you. And the wording may not always be positive. And that's something that you have to find a way to communicate by how you communicate to your own self and with your own self. But that's a topic for another day. So have a good day.